Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and this channel's for everyone that loves great TV series and great movies from all over the world. So today we're going to be doing another early and exclusive review here on my YouTube channel of the Addams Family on 4K Ultra HD, the brand new 4K Ultra HD set that's going to be coming out here in about 5 days or so by the time this video goes live for all of you to watch. Now, we're going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison, and that's something I do exclusively on this channel and I've done for years. And I have tons of videos with my 4K versus Blu-ray image comparisons for you to check out. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of this earlier exclusive content. But we're going to be comparing this to the original Blu-ray release as well. Then we're going to be doing a kind of movie review, give you my thoughts on the movie now seeing it years later. I'm going to do a quick unboxing, show you what comes in the set, what you'll get in this set. Then I'm going to run down through all the specs on the set, tell you what the image quality is and kind of run down through the audio options, things like that, give you an idea of what they did for this set. And then at the end, I'm going to wrap it up with my final thoughts and give you my review score. As I've always done over the years on this channel, I give a review score so you know the quality and if this is something you're going to want to buy and add to your collection or upgrade from the previous Blu-ray if it's worth you spending your money on. So make sure to stick around to the end so that way you don't miss out on my review score, and I do that on every single review I've always done. So that way you have a good comparison between each one of these 4K and also Blu-ray releases that I do reviews on to give you an idea of kind of how these fall ranking wise. So we're going to start off with the original Blu-ray release here that you're going to see up above. That's the screenshot of what you're going to see from the original Blu-ray release. And it did look okay. It did have a slightly softer image to it. As far as it looked, though, it wasn't a horrible Blu-ray release as far as all the ones that have come out over the years. It did have slightly a softer image, but it did look pretty decent. Now, we're going to show you the 4K image above. That's the 4K image of what you're going to be getting on this 4K Ultra HD release. Now, as I've always explained over the years on this YouTube channel, keep in mind what you see in the 4K images is just standard HDR. Even if a 4K has Dolby Vision or HDR10 or any of those, YouTube's algorithm can only show you standard HDR, so it always will dumb down whatever is put in those to be a standard HDR. So what you see of the 4K images will only look better on your own home TV if you have Dolby Vision, HDR10 support, or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. Now, as you're probably noticing on the 4K Ultra HD release, it does have much more depth to those dark images, which Addams Family was kind of a more gothic and kind of a more slightly creepy movie was kind of the effect it was trying to go for anyway. So in the Blu-ray, a lot of those darker images kind of came out some areas as slightly dark gray. They did have some black areas that did look good, but it was never as sharp or as deep a black as what you're going to see on the 4K Ultra HD. Now also, the image clarity gets a lot sharper on the 4K Ultra HD. So you'll notice that like facial tones and skin and hair, you can see much more depth and you can see much more clarity between those. Now, there is one thing that does stand out a little bit more on the 4K Ultra HD versus what the Blu-ray had. Because the Blu-ray had just a slightly softer image, the new 4K shows a little bit more detail in some of their makeup and effects. So it does show quite a bit more on like the prosthetic effects that they used on their faces and things like that. You can kind of see a little bit more where you can kind of tell that it is prosthetic. So that is one of the downsides sometimes on a 4K Ultra HD is if there is a lot of like makeup effects or things like that, sometimes they do stand out just a little bit more that you can see those. It doesn't bother me because going into it, I know the movie's not real anyways, so I know they use makeup effects in any way. So I do like the upgrade in the visual quality for it showing much more detail and depth with the different color variations. So I give up a little bit on that side to get that, hey, yeah, maybe you see a little bit more of the makeup effects or the powder that's on their faces. You can kind of see sometimes where it's a little bit clumpy, but I'm okay with that because going into it, I would rather the upgrade in the visual quality to give up that basically softer image that the Blu-ray had before. Overall, it does retain the natural film grain. I didn't notice anything missing from that, though this movie did come out in 1991, so it's not going to have anywhere near the amount of film grain from something like the 1980s or 1960s or 70s. So it does have the film grain, it's just not nearly as heavy as some of those older films when they do those 4K scans. It does look good, it looks clean. I didn't notice anything standing out as errors in it when I watched through it. There wasn't anything where I noticed where their voices were off from the audio on it, or where there was any like cuts in the films where it lagged or had any jitters on it. It actually was a very nice presentation, and overall, Paramount did a pretty darn good job with this 4K, especially for some of the recent 4Ks I've done reviews on that there were some issues with audio issues, or there was things where there was issues with the video not syncing up. That was not the case with this. Paramount did a great job with this release. Now, it is a native 4K 2160p representation, and it has Dolby Vision and HDR10. So that's why when I said those screenshots you're seeing above for the 4K will only look better on your home TV. If you have HDR10 or Dolby Vision, it looks even more stunning than what you're seeing up above in the comparisons between this and the original Blu-ray. The aspect ratio in it is the original 1.85 to 1. They didn't change that or mess with that at all. Now, in this new 4K release though, it is the with more mamushka release. What that means is it has both the theatrical and the unrated version. Though I will say if you're looking for a slightly longer, where it's like 10 to 15 minutes longer, it's not. It's basically just a little bit over 2 minutes longer than the theatrical release. So it is a little misleading when they say unrated, because you kind of think, oh, well, there's going to be like 15, 20 minutes of extra maybe violence or gore. It's not. It's literally basically just extra scenes of the dance sequence that Barry Sonnenfeld wanted in the film originally, but they cut because they wanted basically to make it a shorter runtime for the theatrical run. So the theatrical run basically runs about 99 minutes, whereas the basically unrated cut that they're saying here with the more mamushka, it's basically 101 minutes. So you don't get a whole ton extra, so just keep that in mind. It's basically a little over 2 minutes that you're getting in this. But it is nice to have those extra scenes. Though I will say, after watching this and having not seen this for many years and watching it again, there was some things in the humor and maybe a little bit of the story that I didn't like as much as I originally did when I saw it back in 1991. But sometimes that's the case. I do love older films and I love going back and watching those again. This was just one of those that I didn't think held up as well. I still enjoyed it, but there was some things that I just didn't like as much now. And that happens. We kind of change over time. I've talked about this over the years on the channel. As we all get older, we see things differently. I mean, when you have kids and a family and wife and you get older, sometimes you look at things slightly differently. And that's how it is with this film. It's still enjoyable, and it was an enjoyable watch, and I did enjoy the film, so I don't want you to think I didn't. It's just there was some things that slightly changed in my mind, opinion-wise, watching it again. Now, if you enjoy this video and you enjoy my content, please consider giving this video a super thanks. Right down below this video, there's a heart symbol that looks like this. And when you click on that, that helps to give a super thanks to the channel. All of that goes right back into the channel, helps me to keep providing you all of this special, early, and exclusive content. And that also helps me to keep this channel going. So if you enjoy my content, please consider giving this video a super thanks by clicking that heart symbol button below. Also, if you enjoy this video, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of this exclusive content. And like I said, I put the links for all of these listed in the description section right below this video. So if you're going to pick this up, make sure to go down the description section right below and click through that link to Amazon. That does help out as well. So the Addams Family is rated PG-13. The unrated cut, like I said, it really didn't add anything, so I don't really know that I'd call it unrated, because it's, in my opinion, still PG-13 because it's just a dance sequence that basically they added the 2 minutes to. Now in this set, you do get a nice slipcover. It comes with the 4K and the digital copy. On the side here, it does say Addams Family. And then on the back here, it kind of talks about creepier, spookier, kookier, altogether ookier. And it does have special features in it. Basically, it has an introduction, which is new, explaining the more mamushka version with director Barry Sonnenfeld. It does have a filmmaker focus, Barry Sonnenfeld kind of going behind the scenes on the movie, and then archival featurette. That's about it. There wasn't a whole ton of featurettes or special features they included in this. It does include your digital copy, which it says it can go for any service out there. Now going inside here, same cover. There is no reversible artwork on the same cover on the front, the side, and the back. Nothing different on that. Now when you go inside, you would normally have your digital copy code sitting right here. I took mine out. And then you have your disc. It's just a regular black Blu-ray disc cover on the side here. It says Addams Family. It says feature films, special features. It's all on the one disc. And this is something I did recently when Paramount released their Scream release. Paramount's doing a great job with their price-wise for these releases. So this one comes right around $19 is what the price is you're looking for this when it comes out here in about 4 or 5 days. Now, the big thing about this is even pre-ordering at $19 is a great deal for this. They don't include the extra Blu-ray copy, which is where Paramount's getting around releasing these at a lower price point. I don't mind that because I only really want the 4K anyways, and that's what I'm going to be watching anyways. I'm glad to have the 4K Ultra HD disc in this and save the money on not having the Blu-ray. Because I have the original Blu-ray copy, I don't really need another copy of it to then have 2 copies of it that I have to sell the other one. I've already got it. So I'd rather save the money and then release this for around 19 bucks because to me that's a good value for it. It comes with your digital copy that if you want to put that on any device, you can watch that. It comes with your 4K, which is what you needed. And to me, it's a great value. Your 4K Ultra HD disc in this is a BD100. So they did a great job with the 4K disc. They didn't do anything with it to put it on a smaller BD66. Now, on top of that, this is region free. So those of you that watch this channel from all over the world, no matter where you live in the world, you can import this through the link I've put in the description section below. And I always put those links right down in the description section right below this. You click that arrow down, it opens up, and it'll take you right out to Amazon to pre-order or buy yours straight through that. So make sure if you're going to pick this up to go down through that link right in the description section below. Click through that link. It'll take you right out to Amazon, makes it nice and easy. But that is a region-free disc. So that means anywhere around the world, if you want to import this, if you live in the US anyways, it's going to play for us anyways. But the nice thing is they didn't region lock this. Like some of those releases from around the world, like in Germany and Sweden, and I mean, heck, even in the US, there was a few that have been region locked. Don't know why. But anyhow, this one is region free, so that's good news. Audio option wise, you're going to get English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 on this. And it's the same audio mix basically that was on the original Blu-ray release. The only thing I noticed difference between that Blu-ray release and this new audio mix was that it was just slightly louder. When I would play one and leave it at the same volume, put the other disc in and play it, this one just was slightly louder, but that was it. Otherwise, they sounded the exact same to my ear. There was no differences. Same audio mix. So as far as that goes, you don't get a big audio upgrade on that. It's simply the visual, which is a big difference. That HDR10 and Dolby Vision really do bring so much more life to this film, especially with those dark scenes. You can see so much more in their faces and things because of the white makeup and things like that, that it stands out with the HDR and the color variants, but then the dark is really dark behind it. It really kind of gives it almost a 3D effect, but I mean, not really 3D because you don't have glasses on, but that's kind of that light to dark in 4K can really give it a 3D effect and add depth to that image. Now you do get French Dolby Digital 2.0 on this as well. Those are the only 2 audio options you get on the disc though. You do get subtitles, both in English and in French, and those are the only 2 subtitle options you get on this set as well. And for the 30th anniversary of the Addams Family, they did a brand new 4K restoration and remaster on this. Though to be honest with you, because of the previous Blu-ray really having looked not too bad before, I don't think they had to do too much other than doing a new scan and then upgrading it to obviously with the HDR10 and Dolby Vision. That really brought a lot of life to this picture anyways. So overall, because it's a 1991 film, when they did that new scan, it does make it look substantially better. Now, as I did say, I enjoyed the film and I thought it was good, though there was some things that I said over time I just didn't like as much watching it this time. But it was still a fun, enjoyable film, and I do hope they release the Addams Family values on 4K Ultra HD. My understanding is Paramount's already done the work for it. They just haven't released yet. Maybe they're basing it on the sales of this if they're going to release that. Because the funny thing is I actually like the Addams Family values a little bit better than this, even when I originally saw both. So going back and watching that one again, I do think I still like the Addams Family values a little bit better. So I do hope they release that one as well on 4K. That way we can own both and have them both on 4K Ultra HD because I do think they're a fun watch to watch together. My review score for this is a 9.3. It's a great release. Price point's great for this. I mean, honestly, that $19 price point, I kind of hope Paramount continues doing this with their 4K Ultra HDs and releasing them right around that $19 or less price point, because then you don't have to wait for a big sale for it to come down from like $30. Shout out to Disney. Every one of Disney's releases they think are gold, and they release them at 30 bucks every single time on 4K. And that to me is just a really high price point for something that's not a limited edition set that doesn't have booklets and posters and a bunch of other things in it. I just think $30 for just kind of the discs and the case sometimes is kind of a high price unless it's something that's a big restoration or remaster of a very old film. Disney's isn't. They're modern films that literally they're just taking like sometimes a 2K upscaled image, putting it onto 4K. And to me, they're not doing as much work. So there's not as much value behind that, which is why I feel like $30 for a lot of their releases just really is a high price point. This is a great price point. I think they do a great job with it. I think Paramount did a great job with it. 9.3 is a great review score. I always love to hear from all of you, so make sure to start the conversation in the comment section right below this video. And let me know if this is one you were excited to see a review of, and if you were excited to pick this one up. I was excited to watch it again and see it, and in a whole new light. This 4K really is a nice representation, and it's a great value for the price-wise. There's no need to wait for a big sale because it's already on sale at a great price. Let me know if you're excited about how Paramount's been releasing these as well, because I do think their price point for putting the 4K in here with the digital copy is a really good deal. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a like for me. Make sure to go down there and click that like button for me. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe and bell notification. That way you don't miss out on any of these early or exclusive reviews that I've been doing here on my YouTube channel. So make sure if you're gonna pick this up, go down to the description section link right below. Click that, it takes you straight out to Amazon. And if you enjoy my videos, please consider giving a super thanks. That does help to support this channel. I don't have a Patreon account or things like that. So those super thanks just go right back into this channel and help me to be able to keep providing you all of this content that takes all of this extra time and work. I had a fun time today, and I hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've got another exciting review coming out really soon.